Welcome to Talking Crue, the unofficial Motley Crue podcast. I'm your host, Kevin Humphrey, where I talk all things in the world of Motley Crue. This is episode 68 this week. Motley Crue Raw Tracks 1 and 2, the EPs review. But first, this weekend Motley news. John Corabi's in the news. He did an interview with Rock Daydream Nation podcast where he talks about his former band, The Scream. He talks about Motley Crue, Rat, and the Dead Daisies. In case you missed it, I will post it in the comment section down below and on the Talking Crue Facebook page in case you missed it. Motley Crue has an article written about them in the December issue of Spin magazine. I don't have this yet. I will be heading to the bookstores this weekend to see if I can find this. It has Liam and Noel Gallagher of the band Oasis is on the cover, but there is an article written about Motley Crue. If you have it, write me a comment down below. Now, I usually don't talk about rumors, but I've seen this reported at least 3 times in the last couple of weeks. Netflix is releasing a Motley Crue documentary on August the 24th of this year. I'm really hoping that this is true because I would love to see a new Motley Crue documentary. Now, the band hasn't released it or news about it. Nikki hasn't said anything about it. So I'm really hoping that this is true. I'll keep you guys updated if I hear anything. And that's it in Motley news this week. Welcome back. I hope everybody had a great Christmas and New Year's. I sure did. My brother-in-law and sister-in-law got me a new microphone, one of those ring lights so you can see me better now. My kids got me the 2 new U2 albums, Live in Dublin 93, which is an EP, and Songs of Surrender. I'm looking forward to listening to both of those this weekend. Now, my mother-in-law and father-in-law got me some stuff. I'm a big Ohio State Buckeyes football fan. Go Bucks. They're still in the playoffs. So I love that. And then my wife ordered me a bunch of stuff that's still coming through the mail. In fact, I'm supposed to be getting some stuff today and Saturday and sometime next week. So I get to relive Christmas for the next couple of weeks. So that's great. Can't wait to see what she got me. Alright, and now let's get into this week's episode, which is episode 68, Motley Crue Raw Tracks 1 and 2, the EPs review. On this week's episode, I thought I'd talk about 2 unique EPs that Motley Crue released that you may or may not know about. So let's go info and facts. In fact, I'm going to show you the covers. I got a personal story about these. There's volume 1 and there is volume 2. Now, let's go info and facts. The 2 EPs were only released in Japan in 2 different years. Volume 1, or Raw Tracks 1, was released on June the 25th, 1988. Number 2 was released on May the 10th, 1990. Now let's talk about number 1, Raw Tracks 1. It has 6 songs on it. 2 songs are from the original Leather Records. 2 songs are remixes. And 1 song is a studio album. And then 1 song is a live track. Now, Raw Tracks 2 has only 5 songs. There's 2 live tracks, a cover song, and 2 studio tracks. Now, I found both of these on YouTube, and I will post them in the comments section down below and on the Talking Crue Facebook page in case you hadn't listened to these. These are freaking fantastic. So, now let's talk about these EPs. Now, I'm not going to talk about all these songs in depth, especially the studio albums, or tracks off the albums, but the others I will talk about more in depth. Okay, so let's start off with Raw Tracks 1. The first song is Live Wire, the Icon song. It's from the Leather Records mix. This version is just raw and dirty, and then towards the end, you hear kind of like a crumbling of paper. Vince has talked about this on Behind the Music. VH1's Behind the Music. He says that you can hear the paper rattling in his hand as he's singing the song. You can actually hear this, which sounds absolutely amazing. Song number 2 is Piece of Your Action. Again, this is from the Leather Records mix. This version is just more greedier sound, which is fantastic. It's so good. Then we get to song number 3, and that is Too Young to Fall in Love. This is the remix version. I can't really tell a big difference in this, except it sounds a little more cleaner and more crisp. Maybe because I've listened to these songs for a ton of times over the years. But if you can tell, write me a comment down below. Tell me what I'm missing here. Song number 4 is Knock 'em Dead, Kid. Now, I'm not going to talk about this song because it comes off of the Shout at the Devil album, which I talk about in episode 5, in case you missed that one. I love this song. Song number 5 is Home Sweet Home, and this is a remix version. Kind of like Too Young to Fall in Love. I can't really hear a big difference in it, other than it sounds more clear and crisp. Song number 6 is Smoking in the Boys' Room. Now, this is the live track on Raw Tracks 1. Vince says, "Let's smoke 'em, boys." Absolutely fantastic live version. Love this. At the end, Vince says, "We're Motley Crue. Thank you. Good night." It's so freaking good. So that's how Volume 1 ends. Now let's go to Raw Tracks 2. Song number 1 is Teaser. This is the Tommy Bolin song. I'll talk about this song on the Decade of Decadence episode, which is episode 12. Amazing song. I love their version of this. Song number 2 is All in the Name of, and this is a live track. This is from the Moscow Music Peace Festival 1989, which I talk about that Moscow Music Peace Festival on episode 9. Absolutely fantastic live version. Love it. It's so freaking good. Song number 3 is Girls, 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 and this is the second live track off of this. Again, it's from Moscow Music Peace Festival as well. Fantastic live version. The song never gets old. Love it. Song number 4 is Slice of Your Pie. Now, this comes off the studio album, Dr. Feelgood. I talk about this song on episode 10. I love this song. And then the last song on Raw Tracks 2 is Without You, which comes off the studio album Dr. Feelgood. Again, I talk about that on episode 10. Absolutely fantastic ballad. Now, those are the EPs, Raw Tracks 1 and 2. Now, I'm going to tell you a little personal story about these. Back in the early 90s, me and my little brother, we had Easttown and Westtown Mall. Now, we would always go to Easttown. There were 4 record stores in the mall. Sam & Goody's, Camelot Music, and I couldn't tell you the other 2 to save my life. But they all had something different, and that's what made it so unique, especially back then. So we would go to those 4 and kind of pick and choose what we wanted, and then we would head to Westtown Mall. Now, Westtown only had 2 music stores, Sam Goody's and Camelot. And so we would always go to Sam Goody's first and then go to Camelot. What made Camelot at Westtown so unique was they had import CDs, Raw Tracks 1, Raw Tracks 2. And I would always pick them up and I would carry them around the store, and then I would always find something else and put those back, and then I would always say, well, I'll come back and get those. I never did. Camelot sadly closed. Sam Goody's is no longer around now. It's called FYE. So I never got these, and I guess I'm going to have to buckle down and get on eBay and buy them. But and the reason why I didn't buy them is because you got to remember this is early 90s. So when CDs were coming out like really popular, CDs were like $20 to $25 a piece. Now the imports, Camelot jacked up the price, and they would be close to $40 a piece. So $40 for one CD, which had six, or Raw Tracks only had, or two only has 5 songs. I couldn't really push myself to buy those, but now I see them on eBay all the time, selling a little bit cheaper. So yeah, I might have to do that. So that's my personal stories. I never got those EPs. Now I kind of wish I did. Alright, so that's it for this week. Homework this week. I've rambled on long enough about that. Do you have these? Write me a comment down below. And did you know about them? Again, write me a comment down below. Now, next week is, a few weeks ago, I did what I called the Vince Neil series, where I talked all things about Vince Neil. Now, I'm going to start talking about my all-time favorite drummer. There he is back there, Mr. Tommy Lee, with the Tommy Lee series, and it will start next week, episode 69, the Methods of Mayhem album review. This is the first album that he did after he left Motley Crue, so I can't wait to talk about this. The album is interesting. Let me just say that. I'll leave it at that. You'll have to come back next week and find out what I mean by that. Alright, so that's it for this week. If you know anybody that's a Motley Crue fan, likes to talk about Motley Crue, hear about Motley Crue, send them this way. Hit that share button, copy the link, and send it to them. Tell them go on Google, Firefox, YouTube, Facebook, Spotify, and type in Talking Crue. All the episodes will pop up. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button yourself. Give me a thumbs up. I greatly appreciate it. And that's it for this week. I want to thank everybody who's joined Talking Crue, whether through YouTube, Facebook, or Spotify. Welcome aboard. Everybody who gave me thumbs up, so I greatly appreciate that as well. And that's it for this week. I will see you guys next Friday. Happy New Year 2025. And I'll see you guys next week. And you just took a ride on the wild side.